Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back to the final two Oath of the Gatewatch drafts I'll be doing before Shadows over Innistrad. Quick reminder, check out the latest Whose Card Is It Anyway episode. I've got that in the links. Also, if you have time, please register for the new Travelers of Storia forums. I would appreciate that. Both of those links are going to be in the video description. This seems like an easy Oblivion Strike. And the next closest is Devour in Flames. Simple enough. Follow up with, what do we got? Saddleback Lagak is good. Cyclone Sire is good. Which one do I like more? I think I actually like Lagak more. Cyclone Sire is very good, though. They're both good. Do I like blue-black more or green-black? I don't know. I've done both a lot. There isn't a black pick worth second picking here. I give Slight Edge to Lagak just because it's a mana cheaper, and I feel like it can have a really high impact. A little bit more so than Cyclone Sire. It's close. The fact that I've kind of mentioned this a few times, but whatever. The main removal spells in this format seem to be exile effects, which really does make the Cyclone Sire die ability a lot less relevant. So I feel like I'd rather pay one less mana and impact two other creatures as well, or potentially impact two other creatures as well. Okay, so now we have Shrieker, which I'm kind of leaning towards. There's also Holdout Settlement. I like Shrieker a lot. I've just really come to love and appreciate this card in the format. Admittedly, much worse when you cannot make the Menace work, but when you can, it really does feel like a powerful ability. Relentless Hunter's, pretty good. Yeah, I think we're just taking the Shrieker. We're going to try and find our colorless mana later, but I do like Holdout Settlement since it also fixes or allows you to splash as well. Ooh, well, Flare Drone's a good one. There's another Shrieker in here. There's also a Slaughter Drone. If I don't end up red-black, Flare Drone is going to be a wasted pick because I really do like Slaughter Drone and Kozilek Shrieker a lot. But in the red-black Devoid deck, Flare Drone is a pretty powerhouse card. No doubt. There's also Stalking Drone in here, which is good. You can really go deep on Slaughter Drones. I like Slaughter Drone more than Stalking Drone, I think. Pretty close, though. I'm pretty sure that's right. Not exactly sure. They kind of have slightly different utility. I'm going to take the Flare Drone in the hopes that if red is open, we can make it work. Okay. Zada's Commando here. There's a Mauve Kozilek, which I guess synergizes better with the Flare Drone. But Zada's Commando is just very good. Another Lagak in here as well. Probably just take the 2-drop over the 4-drop, even though, like I said, Maw has better synergy with Flare Drone. But Zada's Commando is just very good. 2 mana, 2 power, first strike. It's potential ability if you can get it in multiples. Or any other ally for that matter. Remorse's Punishment. Good when you're aggressive. Yeah, there's nothing else in here. I've played it before. It's not a very good card, but it's whatever. It's playable. There's also a Baloth Pup in here, which is pretty decent. Pretty late Aeronaut, but we're going to take the punishment. Whatever. All right. Lagak number 2. Still a chance we maybe do green-black still. I mean, this is a late Lagak. There's another Baloth Pup, too, which is a 2-drop. But I'm going to take another Lagak. Okay, seems like a good opportunity to pick up Waste, so we'll do so. Could take the Free Runner. It's an ally. Still does not synergize with Flare Drone, but I guess I don't have a ton of need for the waste just yet. Maybe I do take the free runner then. Okay, I can take the spider. Are we moving towards green-red? Guess it's possible. Here's a Visions of Brutality, which I'm definitely going to want if we're aggressive. Bonesaw, not really that good in this deck currently. Could cut the green card just in case. Take a Scythe Master, I guess. Alright, Corpse Churn, sure. So, still, I guess, trying to establish our colors after pack 1. Would like to be black the most because I think our cards are strongest in there. But I guess the next closest is still a toss-up between green and red. Canopy Gorger, I'd prefer not to play, which makes us dead even on the green and the red. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure which of these sets of cards is a stronger pile. Well, I got to take the Dark Dweller rather here, which I guess has given us a slight edge back into red. It's a strong card. There's also a Spatial Contortion. But Dark Dweller currently only hits, Corpse Churn? But I think we should be able to find some other stuff, hopefully. It's also worth a couple tickets, which is another reason to take it here. All right, there's a Reality Hemorrhage. There's also another Kozilek's Shrieker. I think at this point, let's put the green away unless we see something nutty. I'm going to try, I think, and make the black-red work. We're going to take the Hemorrhage over the Shrieker. There's also a Hedron Crawler in here, which is pretty good, but we'll take the Hemorrhage. Okay, Oblivion Strike, kind of an easy pickup for us here. There was a Baloth Null. Another powerful green card, but I'm going to take the Oblivion Strike and certainly be happy with that. I guess Spatial Contortion is yet another spell I could cast with Dark Dweller, but Oblivion Strike is just better. Okay, Immobilizer Eldrazi is pretty good. Might just like the Slaughter Drone more. Either way, we're going to need some colorless mana. Kind of running out of time on that, I guess. Mobilizer Eldrazi might be better for this deck. We're kind of looking a little bit more aggressive. Both of these cards are good. I think because this is uncommon and the utility ability tends to be pretty good. We're going to take the Immobilizer Eldrazi. All right, Havoc Sower is a nice pickup. There is a Vampire Envoy. We're starting to need colorless mana. Envoy is good with Zada's Commando, but it doesn't exactly look like what I want in this deck. I think Sower likely is going to be a better finisher. All right, here's our holdout settlement. Oh, and there's a Boulder Salvo too? Well, I can't take a fixing card over a Salvo. I mean, I'd rather just, I guess, play these as a 3-mana 3-2 or a 4-mana 3-3 and a 2-mana 2-1, which does kind of suck, but Salvo is too good to pass. All right, we're taking the waste now over the free runner. Just need the colorless mana at this point. All right, Envoy is a fine pickup, actually. It's certainly a good card, very playable. Unnatural Endurance seems good. It's a very late Blinding Drone. This deck definitely needs some work. It's not that it's necessarily bad, it's just I want it to be a little bit more cohesive. We don't quite have the game plan I want yet. We really need some more cheap creatures, cheap aggressive creatures. Our removal looks good, very good. We've got Visions, Double Oblivion Strike, and Boulder Salvo. All right, Flame Seeker seems correct here. Geez, that is a very late Seed Guardian. But we are off green at this point. We got to make this deck come together. Baloth Null, Wheels. It's very surprising. Ooh, wheeling the Slaughter Drone is just huge for us here. So, only managed to pick up one colorless mana, which means we're going to have to prioritize those really highly out of pack 3. So we're looking for Blighted Gorge, Evolving Wilds, Both of those are going to be super high priority. Pilgrim's Eye is going to be an important card. Anything that can find our wastes at this point, because waste is actually a very valuable card for us. Rapidly became one for Immobilizer, Slaughter Drone, Shrieker, and Havoc Sower. None of these cards matter. We'll just cut the black card. I don't like Untamed Hunger. Kind of wish it was 2 mana, like Madcap Skills. Madcap Skills was +3/+0. And I think it was Menace, pretty much. Expedite, okay. Probably not playing it. Does turn on Free Runner, but that's... And I guess Salvo, too. Okay, so... Would rather be more towards the Devoid direction for the Flare Drone. Jeez, here's an unexciting pack 1. I guess we're taking the Shrine of the Forsaken Gods just because we actually have a need of... colorless mana, and really not giving up anything. Swarm Surge, which probably wheels. Sky Spawner strong, but we're obviously not in blue. Lava Step Raider, I don't like enough. Sifter strong, but we gave up on the green. Could have had a really nice green-black deck, but we're off of it. Okay, Stonewaker's cheap. Not exactly what I wanted for this deck, but certainly a playable card. I think we can still stay reasonably aggressive here. Still want one more colorless mana, and then I'll feel a lot better about our mana. Or, you know, our colorless sources. Complete Disregard, and there's the Spawning Beds. The Spawning Bed would be our third and final colorless source. It's also a very good colorless source, since it doubles as a something that, you know, gives you creatures. Complete Disregard is very difficult to disregard here. What's our removal looking like? Reality Hemorrhage. I think our removal looks good, but I think I want the disregard. We're going to get just a bit greedy and hope we can still find a Pilgrim's Eye, Evolving Wilds, a spawning, or another colorless mana somewhere. We just need one more, but I don't want to give up pretty premium removal like Complete Disregard for it. All right, Silent Skimmer seems fine. I might prefer the Sentinel. Keep the curve a bit lower. It also blocks early and synergizes with Flare Drone still. I think I'm going to take the Sentinel. I'd rather have the cheap guy. There's a Blighted Fin, on color one. There's also Evolving Wilds. I'd prefer the Blighted Fin, I think. There's pros and cons to both. Evolving Wilds also fixes my colored mana. Blighted Fin is a utility land that I can use that also immediately... I think because I'm aggressive, I would prefer the Blighted Fin. If I was more of a mid-range deck, I think the Evolving Wilds would be better. We're not super color intensive. We do have one double color from each color, but I'm going to take the Blighted Fin, I think. So... good news. We ended up with enough colorless sources. I'm not concerned about being able to consistently activate Immobilizer, Slaughter Drone, Havoc Sower, and Shrieker so much anymore. I might actually want the Sure Strike. I'm actually way lighter creature-wise than I thought I was. Could take the Night Watch for that reason. We have no ways to gain life here. Actually, that's not true. Very good synergy with the Envoy. Otherwise, I'm taking a Sure Strike. I think we're more likely to get late Sure Strikes anyway. And like I said, we're creature light enough where I think I actually want this Night Watch. We'll take the second Sentinel over the Carrier Thrall. I think right now we're a 17 land deck. I don't think that's going to cause any problems. So, Blighted Woodland versus Tunneling Geopede and Myers Mouse. I actually like the Geopede here, I think. We're pretty aggressive. It does not synergize as well with our sort of colorless plan, but Geopede gives you high rewards. I don't think we need the Blighted Woodland. I think our colorless mana sources are good. Can play it over the Expedite, probably. Yeah, I'm going to take the Geopede. Okay, I could take the Swarm Surge. It's fine. Technically copyable with Dark Dwellers, too, which isn't bad. We'll take it. Figure it out later. All right, I'm not going to take the second one. I don't think I'm going to take the Slab Hammer. I guess we'll take the Looming Spires. Don't really like tap lands, but this is a good utility one. One of the better ones. The white and the red one are the best ones, I think. Take the on-color Assassin, although we're not going to play it. Sharpshooter. You know, it's playable. How much do I have for Molten Nursery? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is not a bad Molten Nursery count. But I still think more likely to play the Sharpshooter, or try to. I don't know, I could have taken the Nursery there. 14 is probably enough to make it work, but I think our removal is good enough where I don't want to fuss around with that. If I had, like, the last few decks I've made that were devoid, I feel like would play the Nursery a lot better than this one. This still plays it okay, just not as good as I'd like. I still think we look pretty good, though. Gonna have to make a couple cuts. I'm debating cutting the Nightwatch. It is a good late game card, but I think we're gonna be able to be aggressive enough where I might not need it. It basically only synergizes with Envoy. Granted, it synergizes in a good way, but I'm not really... I want to keep the curve a bit lower. I'm debating cutting the Remorseless Punishment too. I feel like the rest of our game plan is likely a little bit better. And I don't want to cut another creature, I don't think. I kind of like the utility of Sharpshooter. It also has synergy with Commando and Flameseeker. As well as being able to... There's certain times where Sharpshooter is just really nice. There's other times where it's really bad too, but I think it's probably good enough for this. This seems like a good deck for it. So yeah, the Swarm Surge. Uh-oh, I'm like locked in zoom in mode. Oh, there we go. Unlocked. Okay, so one more cut. Kind of digging the punishment cut. It's just not that good. It's okay. There's certain times where it's fine. Certain times where it's unexciting. More often than not, it's unexciting. This deck is a bit lacking in the reach department, but we do have good removal, which I think gives us a pretty good aggressive plan. I wish we had a little bit more beefy beatdown, or a little bit beef beatdown light. But, I mean, this certainly looks like a deck that can win. We have a combat trick. We have a lot of removal. If we do a count on combat tricks plus removal, we're looking really nice, actually. I mean, Unnatural Endurance, Reality Hemorrhage, Visions, Complete Disregard, Double Oblivion Strike, Boulder Salvo. Even Sharpshooter can take some things out. Immobilizer Eldrazi lets you get past defenders. Slaughter Drone can attack in a lot. Shrieker's got Menace. Havoc Sower gets big. Dark Dwellers, you know, evade. We've got some Menace. First Strike. This deck looks like it can win. It's not as cohesive as the last few have done are, but I could also cut the Swarm Surge. I feel like Swarm Surge is going to win more games than Remorseless Punishment. Like, can you imagine having a Mobilizer plus Swarm Surge in a turn? It's like, your guys can't block, my guys are huge, get in. I'm going to cut the Punishment. I think it's just underwhelming enough where I'd rather keep my curve low and get away with 17 lands, I think. Okay, so dead even on color. Playing all of our colorless mana sources. Even though Shrine of the Forsaken Gods is... whatever. It's fine. So we cut our double black. I guess we air towards red. Now we're... Well, I guess we do have to air... No, we don't have to air towards a color. We're going to be an even split. Yeah, we're going to be an even split. Okay. Yeah. This deck seems fine to me. Not super impressive. I'm going to give it a low C. I'm going to give it like a 71%. I think the pros of this deck are our removal is very good. I think our creatures are a bit lacking. Synergy-wise, we're a bit lacking. Curve-wise, we're fantastic. Mana base is acceptable, but not great. So we have two great aspects, two okay aspects, and one kind of less than ideal aspect. So all of that combines to be about an average, slightly above, well, about a 71% deck, I think. Okay, very cool. Running it like this, we will see you round one.